Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Virgo Verdict with my co-host, T. Rex. And of course, I'm just Sherrod. What's today's topic?
Marriage, like some rules of marriage, keeping
Okay.
secrets, doing shit without your spouse knowing.
And you never
So
been married, right?
I've never been married.
Okay.
So uh, okay. So anyway, the story goes: there's a lady. She has two kids.
hmm
She's married to a man who doesn't have any children. She decides that she is going to get her tubes tied. She tells everybody on her side of the family. It does not tell her husband. He finds out by accident. I think that's how the story goes. But he finds out. And when he confronts her, she has absolutely no remorse about it. So,
Okay.
this is what I want to talk about. At what point in your marriage is something like this acceptable? And if roles were reversed, let's say he got kids, I don't have any, he decides to have a vasectomy and he doesn't tell me until after the procedure, I would
Well,
be livid.
well, that
And
that would that has
I
been
don't
a
have
thing
any
too.
children. You said what?
That has been a thing too, where a guy
Yeah.
has got a vasectomy, didn't tell old girl, and she came up pregnant. When he
And
was,
he knew
yeah,
automatically it
yeah, it's
wasn't
like it
his.
ain't mine.
It ain't mine. So
So,
yeah, but so you give me your opinion of that scenario. Imagine it's you
mhm.
and your wife, you find out somehow that your wife has had her tubes tied and you don't have any children and you all have talked about having children together. Um and you find out she's had her tubes tied and you confront her, she's remorseless and she like, "Well, we got kids." And he like, "But I want biological kids of my own." How are you responding as
Well,
the husband?
honestly, there is really for me nothing to talk about. It's I just want to know what time you're exiting the crib. That's it.
It's
Because
over?
because we talked about this. You knew what I wanted. You know, I hear so often that men don't express themselves. Well, we
Mhm.
sat down. I told you I wanted a child.
Mhm.
You went and did this. Bye.
And I think it's very indicative of a person who has zero respect for their husband,
Yeah.
zero respect for the covenant of marriage,
Yeah.
because that's a major thing to keep from your husband. That's not something that you allow him to just find out. If
Yeah.
you are even at the consideration stage, if you're considering getting your tubes tied, that's when you talk to your husband. "Hey babe, I want to get my tubes tied like a mug. What you think?" It can be as simple as that. And then like he can reiterate if y'all have talked about this before, or even if y'all haven't, now you are giving him an opportunity to make an intelligent choice.
Right.
Now you are giving him an opportunity to give input into the subject matter. And you can start this dialogue between the two of you about what's important in your marriage at this point, at this stage in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have gone ahead and not only have you done this procedure, but you've told your mom, you've told your sisters, you've told, so why was it important to tell those people to whom you are not married, and you find it unimportant? Because she was like, "It's not a big deal."
Well,
But it
she
is
needed
though. It's the biggest deal.
justification. That's what she. It seemed like she wanted the justification from her moms, sisters, whatnot, and I
And
would
they
love to
didn't
know how he
tell
found
her.
out.
I want to know too, and I got to go back and look at the video. But he was livid,
Mm-hmm.
and
He
you could
should be.
tell that his feelings were hurt, as they should have been. Mine would have been if I were the husband, because damn, like, so when I think about marriage, I think about being married to my best friend. I would not like, even when I think about the relationship that I have with my current best friend, I tell her almost everything. I tell her everything. So if I'm in a marriage to my best friend, there's no exception. I'm telling like my deepest thoughts. I'm talking to my friend here, not just my husband. This is my friend. This is what I'm thinking, babe. I don't want to have no more kids out of this body. I want to have get my tubes tied.
Mm-hmm.
So that he could say, okay, but wait. And her defense was, well, we already have kids.
No,
And
you got
and he
kids.
was like, you got kids. And she was basically like, but these are our kids. Yes, in theory, they
Mm-hmm.
are our kids. But I got a wife who had the ability to make babies, and I want to have a biological child of my own. That means that when I told that to you before, you was like, fuck me. You was like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And you did this and you expected to stay married? Like, for me, this is grounds for divorce because you've made a very final decision
Yeah.
without considering me. So that means that somewhere down the line, doing that action is acceptable for you in a marriage. It's not for me.
And what she did, she was just fueled the argument that you should not mess with women with children already. This is another reason the guys, that say, hey man, don't date no single mothers, man. Being a stepfather is not a cool, role to take. And she just added fuel to that fire
That
with this up
argument.
right here. It's like, damn, you knew the man wanted a child. He's taking care of yours, so you know he's gonna be on top of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But you just said, nah, no,
No,
I don't want no more. I'm good.
and I'm gonna keep this a secret from him
Yeah,
though. This is a secret.
that's
And
the
it's
salt in
not
the wound
like,
right there.
yeah, it's not like I'm not supposed to have coffee, so I'm gonna sneak and drink me a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
That's a different kind of thing. I might sneak and drink me a cup of coffee without telling my husband because he gonna trip if I have a cup of coffee. But this right here, that's too much.
it is.
That's too much of a disregard for my husband as a man, as a husband, as my friend. Like we're not even friends at this point because you done told your mother and your best friend and your sisters about this. You have very little regard for me, period.
Hmm.
As a person in this relationship, you have no regard for me. You don't even respect me enough to even tell me what you're thinking and why. Because I guarantee you, if she had gone to him and said, "This is what I'm thinking," I'm sure he would have listened to her,
Hmm.
and it would have given her an opportunity to express why you feel so adamant about not wanting to have any more kids. That gives him an opportunity to hear you and listen to you. And if you had given him an opportunity to hear what your thoughts are on the matter, you never know. He might have been like, okay, I can deal with that.
Hmm.
Because it gives him an opportunity to analyze what's being said, how this is going to affect our relationship, all of that stuff. It gives him some say so. It gives him time to like turn it over his head and all of that stuff. But you've
And
taken away his choice now.
and this was no overnight decision. This was
No.
she knew, and I believe she knew as he was speaking to her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want no kid. I don't want no more kids, and it was probably I don't want any kids by him. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, he's stepping in. He's filling his role as stepdaddy. Boom, that's good enough. This is what you're gonna get out of me. My two kids and me. You're not getting your own biological.
And I think that's very selfish, and I think it's very disrespectful. Like I would never do that to my husband. I would never do that. I would never make a decision that will affect both of us. Um in stealth. I would never keep a secret like that from my husband. I would
Yeah.
never make a decision like that. That's a major decision. I would never make a decision like that without um conferring with my husband.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Like you got marriage all fucked up. So let me ask you this, Sherrod.
Okay.
Do you think that when you're considering marriage, that you should go to a marriage counselor? That people should go to a marriage counselor prior to getting married?
Okay. I've got mixed feelings on it. I've been married, and my thing is, if you're having issues in the beginning of the relationship and y'all still decide to get married, I believe then you should go to a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think two grown adults that know what they want don't need a counselor. But
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
but my thing is I believe you got to do what's best for the relationship. So just say you and I are getting married. I don't believe in it, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go, you know what I'm saying, and I'll participate, but no, I don't be there, but I'm gonna go because that's what you want to do. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if it makes you feel better, you go talk to somebody, let's go. I just don't want to talk to no pastors. Don't give me no, I don't want nobody Lord and amen and no, no.
Okay. And I agree with it because I think, especially for people who have never been married, I think a marriage counselor is ideal because a lot of the times people just don't know what to do. They don't, a lot of the times people are very focused on the surface part of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's all love and butterflies and kissing each other when you wake up in the morning, and while it is those things, it's much more than that. And I think that there are a lot of people who are not, they themselves, emotionally mature. And so if they're not emotionally mature, if they're not bringing emotional maturity to the table, you won't know how to move around in your marriage.
Oh no, I agree with you.
So
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, so
I
I
agree with that.
think that, like old girl that we're talking about, clearly she has no idea what marriage is about, or she just don't give a fuck, or
She sound like she just don't give a fuck.
yeah. And I would venture to say, I wonder, and I'm speculating here, y'all, I wonder if she was like using him for something,
I'm telling you,
because
he stepped in
that
and
sounds
he
like
filled the void. He filled
yeah
that
it
stepdaddy and taking care of her.
yeah, it
You know.
sounds like she they had a one-sided utilitarian relationship. He was providing some things for her and her children.
Yeah. To me, it sounded
And
like it wasn't a relationship. It was a business transaction
a
for her.
transaction,
Yeah.
because she really, because do you remember the video? Did I send
Mhm.
you the video?
Yeah.
Do you remember how she looked and how she was responding? Like
She
she didn't
just,
give a fuck.
she like, okay,
She
oh
was
well.
very nonchalant. She
Hmm.
was very aloof. Like, and he was very passionate, very emotional, very like, why the fuck would you do this?
Hmm.
Like he was I think he was invested in a way that she wasn't. So
Hmm.
that's why I think in cases like this, marriage counseling works, because this would have come out in the marriage counseling.
Well, you know what?
I think he would.
Before
Go
they
ahead.
got to this point,
Hmm.
I'm telling you, it for me, it felt like he had to convince her to like him in the beginning
Hmm.
because he may not have been her cup of tea.
Hmm.
So he broke my rule of a relationship,
Which
trying to
is
convince and convert instead of connecting. with someone with a like mind. When you're trying to convince somebody to like you, no. When you're trying to convert them from hoism, clubism, whatever it is, to your ideal person, no. You need to connect with somebody that's on the same page as you are. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like dude must have been enamored by what she looked like, the sex, or he just wanted a family. Mm-hmm. He sounded like he was more invested, like you said, he was more invested than she was.
Yeah, and I hate situations like this because depending on the person, like he'll go into his next relationship, and I hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
Go into his next relationship feeling like women ain't shit. Because that shit is hurtful.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you find out the person that you married is not the person that you thought you were marrying. So, this could possibly and hopefully he is emotionally mature enough that he can get through it. But this could break somebody. Yeah. And this could ruin how they perceive future relationships and women,
Well,
I think that shit is fucked up. Sherrod.
Sounds like a future passport bro to me.
Right, yeah, because them passport bros, they've been hurt in a way. Mm-hmm. And you would have had to have been irreparably hurt.
Yep.
To make your ass go and get a passport. Fuck these American women. I'm going overseas to give me somebody who's gonna love me for me.
That's it.
And then they get over there and the shit be all fucked up. Like
it is. Like, bruh, do you know they got the internet too? They watch the same programs. They are following the same
shit.
Script.
Like, it's an individual kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't look like women are not a monolith. Men are not a monolith.
No.
You cannot lump us all in the same group, in the same category.
What is it, like 7 billion people on the planet?
Right. So, but there are some people in the world that will let something like this dictate for them how they will move around in their future relationships. She probably scarred this man for life.
Yeah, he's done.
I hope he's not though. Like really, I hope he's not. But I do hope that he gets the fuck on away from her.
You know what? You know why I say he's done? Because this video went viral, and he's probably got a lot of people from that passport bro community in his ear right now. Like, bro, we told you. Sure. And then he's going to also run into the guys that was like, man, we told you not to be a stepfather. We told you. And now he's going to have to fight his own hurt plus them in his ear. Mm-hmm. And he sounded hurt. He's like, man, I told you I wanted a child. I want a biological child with you.
With you. And she didn't give a fuck.
She was like.
Y'all, she has zero remorse. At least that's how it came through on the video. Like, she did what she did, and she was like, well, we got kids, so. And when he said, but yeah, I want my own biological kids, she kept saying, like, but we got kids. But, yeah, like, you're not even hearing him at all. And these are things that should be discussed prior to marriage.
I think they were. I think they discussed. So, I just think she deceived him.
That's really fucked up then. That's really fucked up.
You know what? When a woman doesn't respect you, and it sounds like she doesn't respect him at all.
Yeah, so, she respects her mother and her sisters more than she respects
That's it.
him.
So she probably told him, you're like, look, I'll tell him anything. I'm trying to get the bag. Once I get the bag, once I get him, I'm not gonna have this kid. I can honestly tell you, and I can know, and I know someone personally, and I'll give you the name after we get done of this exact thing happened.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, you know him.
Okay. I want to know so bad. And also too, this is the thing too. There are families of women who run shit
Yeah.
and who do not have men in their families or who do not respect men in a way where they can be leaders or contributors to the household
Hmm.
in an effective way because they like, they don't have respect for men. So maybe that's the kind of family she's grown up in because why would you tell your mama and not your husband? Why would you tell your sisters and not your husband? Like y'all, it must be a culture of y'all that don't give a fuck about men, that don't respect men.
Yeah.
Because even when even though I wasn't married, we were engaged to be married. We moved around like a married couple. I did not make any decision without conferring with him. Not one. And I mean from the smallest things, like I want to send my godchild $20. I would let him know I'm gonna send Ronell $20. And
Hmm.
he never had a problem with it, but it's things like that
Yeah.
because I never want my husband, my significant other, to be blindsided by a decision that I have made.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't want you to be surprised. I don't want somebody out in the street to know something about us or about me before you do, so that you have a conversation with somebody and they put you up on something that you should have already known. I never want my husband to be in a situation like that. I never want to make my husband look like a fucking fool.
There you
And that's
go.
what she did.
Yeah.
Like, because that's my husband. That's my boo thing. That's my best friend. I got the utmost respect for this man. And I want him to know it every single day. So, in the ways in which we let our significant others know that I think you the shit and I love you and I appreciate you for being here is by doing shit like that. Telling
Hmm.
them, babe, I know you want some kids, but I promise you I don't want to have no more kids out of my body. Also, there are alternatives to that. Let's say
You get a surrogate.
get a surrogate, freeze my eggs, somebody else can have a baby.
Hmm.
Like, you know,
Or you
there
can
are
just let me
so
go out
many.
there and just bang me a little.
You could do that. Like there are so many because these are things that we can talk about though.
Yeah.
Like I'm not willing to have no more kids, but if you want to go out there, if you know somebody who would be willing to have a baby with you or would be willing to be our surrogate, I'm open to that. So then that
Whew.
way, because it's compromise. So that way we both get what we want. I don't have to
She,
push no babies out. We
that woman
using
ain't compromising on shit though. She's come on. It's all about her. That
it is
relationship is it's a what you know. She's that woman that when they had the wedding. This is my day.
my day. Don't nobody in there wear white. Not even the flower girl.
Man.
Yeah. So maybe she's a narcissist. I don't know, because women can be narcissists too.
Yeah.
But I think she was dead ass wrong, Sherrod. I think that was
I agree.
wrong. I think it was hurtful. Um, and I don't get the impression that he was a bad guy because usually when people have a disagreement and he like, why would you do that? She didn't say you cheated on me or you
Hmm.
didn't put your hands on me. People will throw that shit, whatever you have done, back up in your face. She didn't say none of that. She was
She was just
actually
like,
like stuttering over her words, like, I didn't want to have no more kids.
and that's
And fuck the
that's what
thing
she should have said from day
from day
one. I
one.
don't want because she
But
didn't just come up with this decision. I don't want no
no,
more kids.
no, because
No.
that's extreme, Sherrod. That's an
Hmm.
extreme. It's beyond. Oh, I'm sneaking, taking birth control. You done made a permanent decision for us.
Yeah.
You've gotten your tubes tied. She probably got them bitches tied
And
and burned
burn.
it.
Is
Yeah, so I think from what I'm gathering, I think that he was useful to her in some way. She probably felt like she hit a lick
Yeah.
I got a man that's gonna take care of me and my kids.
Financial stability.
He probably buying cigarettes and beer for her mama. You know, like he's probably useful.
Right.
And she probably never looked at him as if he were her husband, not in the true sense of the word.
He's just a bag.
She just a bag, and she probably never viewed herself as the wife. You know, it's just I'm here. We got us a place to stay. We got food, clothing, shelter.
Hmm.
He bring me his check every week, or whatever their dynamic is. She weighed the pros and cons, and was like, "He's it. I'm gonna marry him."
Yeah, because it ain't no good men out here,
It ain't no
and
good. And see, this is the thing. And they'll say all day it ain't no good men out here, but then you do shit like this to a good man. Well, what I assume
well, what we
might
assume,
be a
yeah.
good man.
But like you
But
said, had he not been a good dude, she'd have thrown all up his transgressions right in his face. Here,
right in his
you did
face.
this.
Yes.
So
Yes. So yeah, Sharad,
your Virgo
I just
verdict is
she's dead ass fucking wrong. Um, if I'm the husband, I'm divorcing her tomorrow and I'm not looking back. And and I'm gonna find somebody that is emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically compatible with me,
hmm
and who has a real understanding of what relationship is and what marriage is.
I agree a thousand
And
percent.
we go on to counseling.
Yeah.
It's if especially from his perspective.
Yeah, I
He,
think now from that perspective, he
mhm,
needs to really sit down with somebody and kick it, you know.
yes,
So you know what?
absolutely.
Maybe counseling, like I say, is not bad. It's not a
Hmm.
bad thing, you know, because looking at it from that perspective of somebody being hurt, we've all been hurt.
Hmm.
We've all gone through some bullshit in relationship sh- ships, and I think if we got somebody that could truly not favor one or the other, it'd be good to talk to somebody.
Yes, I agree.
So,
So what's your verdict?
hey, I'm out. I told you we wouldn't even have the video. We'd be out. I'm done. Like
You out.
I'm out. Cause I told you up front. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
And you could have told me. And then we could have, yeah, it could have been handled a whole other
yeah.
way.
And in his
And
mind, he
he,
probably like, man, I done set y'all up. I done got you in my house. I've done all of this, and I did all this for your children.
mm-hmm,
And it's like, what kind of man did you think I was gonna be to mine?
right.
And she said, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a
We
fuck.
won't find out.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
that's the verdict, y'all. She dead ass wrong, and
she
I will
fucked
leave
up.
her ass so quick. I will put her out, her and her
Hmm.
kid. I will put their asses out. Go stay with your mama.
I dropped
You
their ass off.
all of them with their shit. Go on, stay with your mama. That's who you want to be married to
That's who.
anyway. You
That's
got
who you're
more of a
making
marriage with
decisions
your
with.
mama.
Go
Yeah,
stay with her.
exactly. Go stay there. So yeah, that's our verdict, y'all. Chime in.
Let us know.
Put in the comments. Let us know what you think. And y'all, we just a couple of Virgos up in here giving our opinions, judging people like a motherfucker. But I don't think we're irrational with our judgments. I think that our judgments are very non-biased.
Mhm.
But if we're ever wrong, if you feel like we ever
Yeah.
wrong, or you have a difference of opinion, let us know. We could chop it up. Maybe we have you on the show one day.
That'd
Just
be
to kick it.
cool. I would like, yeah, I would like to do that. You know, somebody come in, hey, y'all had a topic, and I want to, kick it. All right,
Yes,
come on,
that would be awesome. Yes.
we'll
So
talk
yeah,
to you.
put it- we will. We will. But it's two Virgos though, so be prepared.
Yeah, and we
So
always right.
we gonna come prepared. We gonna come with all the research and all of the data. So you just make sure you on point when you
So,
do. Yeah.
so we're gonna ask you to like, share, and subscribe, and let's grow our community so that we can dialogue, kick it, talk, and just have insult-free conversation about
Absolutely.
everything.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.